Today I'll tell you why our current way of organizing squads in Labyrinth, it's not very good, and it will make you lose profit and everyone else's. And I'll tell you how to fix it and what the best way of doing it is instead. And I actually realized this was a problem because I kind of contributed to the problem. Because the new video that I released about the Boon herald build for Labyrinth really popped off, and a lot of people are doing this build, which is good, but also maybe too many people are using this build. Because the way this build works, if you haven't seen it, you can go watch it. It's my latest video after this, but it's one of the latest videos. I'll put it in the description. It's on. But the way this build works is that in Labyrinth, a lot of people are essentially trying to tag essentially attack every ad, so they get all the profits from each of the ads that die, right? Of course. And the way this build works is that you don't have to kill anything because you're essentially giving boons and healing to the people who do kill these ads, and therefore giving you participation of those kills. But the issue is, whenever you have a lot of heralds that are doing the same thing you are doing, this will no longer work. Because you as a herald, you're essentially giving boons to people and healing people, but only to five people in the squad. And if you give the boons to a herald, right, or 4 heralds and yourself, that none of them tagged anything, well, what's gonna happen? You're not gonna get anything. You're not gonna get nothing, and then your gold per hour is gonna go down. So not good, right? Not good. So be careful around this. If you see a lot of heralds in your group, do not play herald or start tagging stuff. And you can do this very easily on Rev by using Dwarf and getting little hammers out, and then they spin. That's pretty cool. Or you could also use Ventari and use the little bubble to move it around and heal people that are outside of your subgroup, and that way you'll mostly guarantee that you're gonna be fine. That being said, there's a second way of fixing this problem, because honestly, this issue is not really for anyone else but the people using this build, which is kind of nice, because I didn't want to be the guy who just showed a build to everyone that essentially ruins the farming for everyone else. Well, it doesn't really do that. It only, if you overdo this, if you abuse this build in this scenario, in this way that I'm telling you right now, where there's too many of them in the same squad, the only people who are gonna get affected are those heralds, not the people who are actually not using this build. So it's actually, if they're being irresponsible with it, they're gonna essentially fuck over themselves and no one else. But there is a good way to fix it. And what is that way? Well, that way is using subgroups. Because right now, most people in labs, and I think this should stop, and I think this is this is gonna be what the video is about, is that we need to change how Labyrinth works. The Labyrinth farm shouldn't be this subgroups all the time. It's not good. It just makes no sense. There's no reason to use it the way. And why is this? It's because this way, the boons that you're gonna give them to random people. And as I said before, if those boons go to a person who was already giving boons, you're not gonna get anything, right? So there's literally no reason to have subgroups like this, where it's completely random whether you're gonna target the people that you want to target. Instead, and I did this after on my stream, what you want to do, you want to have your subgroups looking like this. As you can see here, we have 5 people per subgroup. This is the reason why you do this, is because this way you will only give boons to those 5 people. Well, that's not true. The priority will go to them, right? You might end up giving it to someone else because one of these people here are outside of your range, so you might give it to someone else. But most of the time, especially because it's lab and everyone's stacked together, you will give them to these 5 people. And as you can see here, I'm with a herald, but there's another herald here, right? And we have one Daredevil that is definitely tagging ads. We have an Elementalist, a Catalyst that is also obviously most likely getting tags, and we have a Mechanist as well. So even if I was playing Herald, actually, here I'm playing Harbinger because I'm trying a build. Even if I were to play Herald, yeah, sure, I'm gonna give a bit of boons to this guy, and I'm not gonna get any credit for that. But I'm gonna end up giving boons to this guy, and this guy. Therefore, I'm gonna be guaranteed, most likely, that I'm gonna get the tags. Right? This way is way better. right? Now, technically, you could have 4 heralds and 1 DPS who's tagging everything, and it should work too as well, which is very nice, because that way, even if you have like, what would it be, 45 heralds? Imagine 45 heralds in a 50-man squad with 5 DPS and each DPS in one of the subgroups. That would be kind of based. Wait, no, forget it. No, dude, imagine 40 heralds, 40 heralds and 10 DPSs and 1 DPS per subgroup, and all the other ones are heralds. That would actually technically work, right? Because the 4 heralds would give boons to that 1 DPS in their subgroup, and eventually, and get the attacks of that guy. Right, and it would actually work, assuming that everyone is stacked. But yes, so if you do subgroups this way, and you have the less, and if you worry about, and if you focus, and if you prioritize to having boon heralds or all these builds that essentially just give boons in order to get the tags, not stacked together, but instead having 1 on each of the subgroups or 2 in each of the subgroups, while having DPSers in each of the subgroups, you will be fine, and everyone will get their tag for everything. Everyone will have will get good gold per hour, and there will be 0 issues. So please, if you can, tell your commander about this. If they don't understand how it works, maybe you can show this video. And honestly, to be fair though, if they don't want to do it your way, that's fine too. It's their squad; they can do whatever they want. It's their squad. If they want to just let it be, they can do it. It's not their responsibility, right? But that way you can make your own squad if you want. But this should be the way that the Labyrinth should be the best, and it should be the way the meta ends up going, I think. And honestly, it's good, because this way it will teach everyone how to do subgroups, which will be easier for everyone to tag in different other types of game modes, right? Like in PvP, in War vs. World, in PvE, in raids, in open world, in everything, right? So it actually is a good way of learning how the game works while still doing something so casual and so easy as Labyrinth, and getting rewarded for learning the game, which is pretty nice. So subscribe to the channel. Tell me if I got anything wrong. I'll get more builds for Labyrinth, probably, hopefully today or tomorrow. I got a Harbinger for Labyrinth in the oven. Okay, I have. I have Catalyst and Core Ellie as well, so maybe we'll do a Guardian one as well. We'll see, but there you go. Thank you for everything. Subscribe to the channel. See you guys around. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.